moves tons of product every day. In order to move this product, many different types and styles of equipment are used to meet the needs of industry. Of these, the forklift is the most commonly used. This equipment is dangerous. Whether you spend your entire workday or only a fraction of it moving material, there are safe practices and procedures you should follow to protect yourself from these dangers. Because the reality is, the most important material handler this company has is you. Material handling equipment is involved in many of today's serious workplace accidents and is responsible for severe injury to operators and other employees, as well as the cause of major property damage to equipment and inventory. According to the Journal of American Insurance, here are the 10 most common causes of forklift injuries and losses. Manually loading a truck, being injured getting on or off, driving a forklift off the loading dock, a falling load hits another employee, load falls backward and hits operator, colliding with another vehicle, shoving a load into an employee, hitting body part on object outside of the forklift safety cage, being hit by forklift, tipping or rolling the forklift over. Crossing streets at busy intersections can be dangerous for pedestrians who aren't paying attention. It can also be dangerous for pedestrians who travel through work areas where forklifts operate. The reality is, all parties have an obligation to be careful. Pedestrians should watch out for moving equipment and should never walk under a loaded forklift, touch the operating controls, or hitch a ride. But the forklift operator is ultimately responsible for everyone's safety. How concerned are you about safe load handling? The reality is, many accidents occur because drivers overlook this important step in material handling. How should a load be handled safely? Space, center, and place the forks all the way under the load before tilting back the upright. Know your forklift's weightlifting capacity. Don't double up. Split the load instead. It's dangerous to add objects for counterweight, especially people. Make sure all loads are stable. Forklifts are designed to lift and move inventory, not to push it. Remember this when straightening stacks. Tip-overs occur on uphill and downhill grades, ramps, and when loading and unloading. The reality is, tip-over accidents happen because operators fail to recognize special conditions and then adjust to them. One of these special conditions is the change in the center of gravity. In order to understand more about this change, we need to look how counterbalance and the center of gravity affect load stability. The normal center of gravity on an unloaded forklift rests in the middle. As a load is added, lifted, or moved, the center of gravity shifts. Heavy loads bring the center of gravity forward. High loads raise the center of gravity. Turning shifts the center of gravity to the outside. Any sudden or excessive change in the center of gravity can cause a tip-over. So, to avoid tip-overs, drivers should remember, when loaded, always drive up and down a ramp with the load uphill. Drive slowly in low gear. Never turn on a ramp. And don't park on an incline. When working around docks and ramps, remember, preparation is important. Use proper dock boards. Chock the truck wheels or set the dock lock. And set the truck's parking brake. Statistics tell us that 90% of all workplace accidents are caused by human error. How's your driving? What are you doing to operate safely? Compare your usual routine with these do's and don'ts. If you've got one, wear your seatbelt. Note unsafe conditions such as sprinkler pipes, low or narrow clearances, poor housekeeping, hazardous areas, unusual travel surfaces, and other traffic. Drive at a safe speed, especially when turning, with forks lowered close to the ground. Drive backward for better vision, stopping at blind corners to check for hazards. Stop completely before reversing directions. When leaving your forklift unattended, Fully lower the forks. Put controls in neutral. Turn off ignition. Set the brake and remove the key. Don't jump on or off equipment. Don't carry pedestrians. Don't push a disabled truck with your truck. Don't smoke around fueling stations. Turn off the engine when refueling. Don't allow fuel-powered trucks to idle for long periods of time in enclosed spaces. And don't lift employees without an attached, secured safety platform. So, how did your usual routine compare? Inspection is an extremely critical area of forklift safety. A quick visual inspection should be done at the start of each shift. Check hydraulic hoses, tires, warning devices, and forks for damage. Check fluid levels. Know the lifting capacity of the equipment and test the brakes and steering after startup. Report questionable or unsafe conditions to your supervisor or maintenance department. Remember, shortcuts and temporary fixes can be dangerous. Continuous maintenance also assures better fuel efficiency, reduced carbon monoxide and operating downtime, adding years of service to the equipment. Inspecting and maintaining pallets, mirrors, and painted traffic control lines are important. New optional equipment is available to increase safety. These include automatic fork movers, battery movers, and dock locks. Today you've heard information about avoiding injuries, safe load handling, inspecting equipment, and safe operating procedures. But all of this information won't protect you from accidents unless you look seriously at your attitude towards safety. Do you concentrate on working safely? Do you anticipate unusual situations? Do you take responsibility for everyone's safety? Do your actions reflect good safety decisions? Do you take shortcuts and rush? Do you believe it'll never happen to you?